Good evening. Welcome to Expat Insights. I'm your host Raju Mandhyan. Here at Expat Insights, we take external views, out-of-the-box views of internal successes, emotional, business, and society of foreigners, immigrants, and expats who have made Philippines their home. Today, we are going to talk about the future of entrepreneurship, the future of business, through the eyes of a German national who has made Philippines his home. Now, before I introduce the guest, what I'd like you to do is watch a little clip on what is the future of entrepreneurship or social entrepreneurship. So let's catch the clip and we'll be right back.
What is social entrepreneurship? And I don't even say it right.
It's about doing good
I'm doing well. It's about making money
without making a mess.
creating wealth.
Without creating pain.
It's about fine dining.
And feeding the hungry.
Building skyscrapers.
And building
communities. Recycling materials.
And raw materials.
It's about investment banking. And microfinance.
Corporate power.
And solar power. Measuring profit. And measuring benefit. It's about balance.
It's about time.
There we go. So that's what we're going to talk about, social entrepreneurship or the future of entrepreneurship. Our guest today, he studied at the Cass Business School in London in 1994. He worked as a managing director for a retail IT business in Europe. He moved to the Philippines by accident and studied at the Southeast Asian Center of Southern New Hampshire University in Manila. I have no idea where that is. But anyway, after graduation, he co-founded the Asian Social Enterprise Incubator, the first of its kind in the Philippines. Our guest today, a very young and a handsome gentleman, German national Markus Dietrich. Markus, welcome to Expat Insights.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here.
So tell me, why the Philippines? What brought you to the Philippines, Markus?
Well, as you said, it was not, it was an accident.
Okay.
At the age of 40, I decided to move out of retail IT.
You're not 40, are you?
More than that.
Okay.
I kept well.
Okay.
It was just the space there at that time. I was feeling a little bit tired, you know.
This was in Germany?
It was in Germany, yeah.
Okay.
In Germany, and you know, that's like when men get like 40, they get their
They
thoughts,
rethink
life, and I decided to abandon my past life. I've been working in this retail IT business for all my life. It was a family business.
Oh, okay.
So I decided, okay, I had enough of that.
All right.
So I quit, and then I went traveling. I went to India and some other places, and I came across this concept of microfinance.
All right. Lending little money.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I was fascinated by the idea to have a business that is actually good in development. Previously, my ideas of development was always charity or government aid.
Right. Donations.
Donations. And there I came across a concept where you can actually make a business, a bank, and have a profound social impact.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to learn a little bit more about that. And in June 2009, I went to the US.
Okay.
To exactly this place, the Southern New Hampshire University.
Well, where is the Southern New Hampshire University in Manila? Is there such a thing? Why would there be a Southern Hampshire University in Manila?
Yeah, well, let me tell you a story. It's it's a US university in Manchester, in New Hampshire. And they had a school there. It's a school of community economic development within the university. And they've been running programs, master degrees, for over 10 years. Very experienced people, very good professors. And they're specializing in microfinance. So as I wanted to learn a little bit more about it, I went there and looked at it for about 2 weeks. It was a 2-week seminar, intensive seminar on microfinance.
In Manchester?
That was in Manchester. And in one, it was a lunch, yeah, it was lunch. The dean of the university came and said, well, by the way, we are starting this program in the Philippines.
Okay, okay.
In 20 days.
All right.
So that would mean July. And as I had nothing else to do.
And since you were rethinking your life at 40.
Anyway, so I decided to take up that challenge because it combined a few things I wanted to do. I always wanted to move to Asia. I lived in Europe for a long time. I had some feeling that I've seen that. So now it was time to discover something new. The Philippines was, if they had done that program in Indonesia, I would be probably in Indonesia now.
Right.
So the Philippines was not by choice.
So should we consider the Philippines to be a luckier country?
Well,
Because
I leave that to other people to say.
Okay.
So I came here, and honestly, I had no idea about the Philippines. Growing up in Germany, I think the only thing we heard about the Philippines was really Imelda Markus, 3,000 pairs of shoes.
Don't you hear about other people besides Imelda Markus?
Well, at that time, when I grew up, no.
How about Fernando Po Jr.? Did you hear about him?
Never heard about that name.
Okay. Now tell me, before we go into the future of entrepreneurship and what you're doing here and what good you're adding to the country, give us a little background about your life in Germany. You know, how is it different from your life in the Philippines? So maybe create a picture of growing up in Germany.
Growing up in Germany, it's a very stable place.
What city did you grow up in?
There's a small place called Röndorf. It's near Bonn, the former capital.
Where they make nice chocolates? Bonn?
Bonn, that's not really known for chocolates. It's like it's the former capital. It was a civil servant's place. It's on the beautiful River Rhine.
Okay.
It was a great childhood. I lived near to a nature park, growing up there and sort of running around the forests and playing soccer, obviously. And I joined a Catholic school there. I went
Catholic
to
what?
Catholic all-boys school, and grew up there. And then, yeah, I had a sort of a good time, enjoyed it, but always had the feeling that it's not everything. Germany is not everything. It's a great place to be, but there's so much more to discover.
All right.
So after serving at in the army, which I was required to do in Germany, I moved to England and studied there.
The Cass Business School.
Cass Business School. Yeah.
All right.
It was a school that was it's located at the city. It's a finance center of London, and the school was very much focusing on finance and also marketing.
So what kind of cultural change did you have to go through when you moved to the Philippines? What was your first impression of this country?
It was exciting chaos.
Exciting chaos, okay.
I think that sort of combines two things. Before moving here, I actually moved to Switzerland. So I lived in Zurich.
Okay.
Before coming here. So making the move from Zurich to Manila.
That's a shift.
It's probably one of the most extreme moves you can make in terms of urban move. I think the point came when I spent some time in India. I discovered a completely new world. Which
you
I
spent some time in India before moving to the Philippines?
Yes, yeah, for 2 months I was traveling.
Did that not help you rethink your life? Did that not fulfill your spiritual needs?
It did.
It did already.
It did. Yeah, it did.
So was it something like the movie Eat, Pray and Love?
Probably, yes.
Something like that?
Yes,
okay.
something like that. I refuse to watch it.
The male version of it.
The male version of that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should come out with that later. Yeah. But it was like a founding for me, like a grounding. I went to an ashram. I stayed there for 2 weeks, did not eat and do the meditation, and then grounded myself. And then I went back to Zurich and had a reverse culture shock.
Okay.
Which made me rethink a lot of things. The problems the people in Zurich talk about, I think the most extreme I found was they had a traffic jam of about 20 minutes at rush hour in the morning.
That's a major issue in Zurich.
Yeah, and they wanted to instigate something that they've done in London with the road pricing.
Yeah.
And they wanted to spend millions of Swiss francs for that. It just didn't make sense for me. I mean, what could you do with that money in other places?
In a country like India or Philippines, yeah.
Exactly. So, and a few other things that came together. So then
So your first impressions of Manila, the exciting chaos, create me a picture of that. We'll take a break. Then after that break, we'll come back and talk to you about what you're doing today.
Okay.
No? So give us your first impression of Philippines.
Well, landing at Ninoy Aquino Airport is just not the best experience. It's just chaos.
Okay.
It's loud, it's noisy, it's crammed. It's not a very nice entry.
It's becoming better. There are three airports now.
Yeah, but why do they have selected the most cramped one as the international airport where you land as a foreigner?
Okay.
But then I was picked up by a friend who was sent from the school, and he guided me through everything, and I discovered, wow, the people here are great. They help you. So he channeled me through, and then I went to the school, and it's actually in Antipolo at Saidi, where this program started.
South Asian Interdisciplinary Institute at Antipolo.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I landed in beautiful Antipolo.
All right. Okay, so now we'll take the break. After the break, we'll come back and talk to Markus about the future of entrepreneurship and what he's doing to help social enterprise in the Philippines. So stay with us. This is Expat Insights. I'm your host, Raju Mandhyan. Welcome back. We are still with Markus Dietrich of Germany, and we are talking about the future of entrepreneurship. Markus, define entrepreneurship for me before we go into discussing the future of it.
You want me to focus on social entrepreneurship already, or on entrepreneurship
maybe give me the big picture. Yeah.
I think the big picture is really entrepreneurship is taking a lot of passion and apply it to a business model.
Right. Yeah.
And the social entrepreneurship part does exactly that.
Yeah.
But it has a focus not only on your profit side, but also on the social impact. So there's a lot of terminology created around this theme, which is called like double bottom line or blended value.
Okay.
It means that you not only create a business to make a profit, but you create it to have a social impact.
Okay.
And you measure both.
So these are the two bottom lines, social impact and profit.
Correct. And there's even a third bottom line, which is the environmental impact. So you can have like double or three. Yeah. People, planet.
So the essential difference is one is for profit, one has one single bottom line.
Correct.
And the other one has three bottom lines.
Correct.
Two, maybe three.
Yes.
So when did this concept come about? When did the world become aware, saying that, hey, we want to become social entrepreneurs now, or hey, that's a new thing?
Well, the term in the academe has been around since 1972.
Okay.
So it's a very old concept, but the academics are still concentrating on defining the term.
Yeah, okay. Because there are many people who don't know about it. Or they say, what the heck is that?
Yeah. And it's very difficult in a scientific academic setting to really distinguish it clearly from normal entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Like if we talk it like this, you can explain it.
Yeah.
But do it scientifically and academically, it is more difficult.
But is there, again, I'm probably beating around the same old bush, no? So how do you distinguish between ordinary entrepreneurship, besides it being a triple bottom line, and the fact that you try to define it so much, isn't that an effort in itself? Isn't that a useless effort in itself?
Well, that's the reason why sort of some academics have sort of like parted that way and are still arguing about definitions. Whereas there's another movement there, which are the practitioners, and they're creating things.
Yeah, like you.
Yeah, and you just, and if you see it, you know it's there. It's like with the Zen method or the motorcycle thing. What's that? The
motorcycle, Zen and motorcycle
maintenance. Yes, it's quality.
Yeah, okay.
It's very hard to define, but if you see it, you know it's there. So there's a movement from the practitioner which started around the 1980s with Bill Drayton and Ashoka, who has created a network.
Bill Drayton?
Drayton, yes.
Okay.
And he's been instrumental in really shaping this whole global movement.
So are you saying that before 1972, whatever enterprises people indulged in, they were all for profit, or they did not do it with awareness of the two bottom lines, the other two bottom lines?
Yeah.
Was it like that? Are you saying that ages ago, centuries ago, people didn't care for planet or people?
I think they did. I mean, especially like in the environmental, you have a lot of like clean tech companies nowadays.
Yeah.
I think what social entrepreneurs are adding definitely that second bottom line, the social impact. And it's not a side effect. It is not something that just happens because you have a business. Like you could argue that a normal enterprise is creating employment. It has a social impact. But it's not their mainstay.
It's not their main
mission.
goal.
It's not their main goal. It's a means to achieve their goal.
It's a side effect.
It is a side effect.
Yeah.
And if you look at the stock exchange measures the value of a business. It's the single bottom line.
Yeah, okay.
So, and people take this second part, the social impact, very seriously in terms of valuing a business.
So where is the world going with it now? What percentage of global businesses, small and big, are becoming socially conscious, environmentally conscious, people conscious? What is the percentage breakdown?
Well, percentage is very hard to say, but I have the feeling that there is, on the one hand side, we've got the social entrepreneurship movement. These are people who are starting new things out.
Yeah.
They're in the field, they're trying things, they're prototyping, and they're growing, they're scaling up, which is one of their major challenges. On the other side, we have existing corporates, businesses, who move more into this space by becoming more socially aware.
through their CSR initiatives.
Well, this is exactly where they started off with.
Yeah.
I think if you look in the history, it started off with having a charity, having a foundation.
Right.
It's an age-old
10% of their
whatever they choose to do. And it's something that is very prevalent in the Philippines. You have companies that are very successful, hard-nosed business people, and a percentage of their profit they put into their foundation, and there they do good.
Hospitals,
planting trees, and so on.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with their core business. And this is where sort of CSR is moving at the moment. It used to be a separate. You had a CSR officer, which is usually situated either in a foundation.
But this was post-70s, not pre-70s. In pre-70s, it was just charity and donation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you had also the government. I mean, you must not forget the government in this whole development and poverty alleviation, social impact scene.
So did private corporations pre-70s, pre the social entrepreneurship movement, did businesses just give money out, or did they dole out money to the government and say, build a hospital for us, or take this money, extra money, and build a hospital? Did they do that, or was it a different kind of a concept at that time?
It was still at the time that they had foundations. This whole thing, it goes back to like in Germany, medieval times, Turner taxes, they built houses for their employees.
I think that's how Red Cross came up.
Red Cross, all these charities, or you give to a charity. Instead of having a big Christmas bash, you donate some of that to existing charities.
So was there a defining moment for social entrepreneurship in the 70s or 80s? Maybe a case study where somebody said, hey, this is different approach. The story of Muhammad Yunus or somebody like that?
Yeah, Muhammad Yunus definitely was instrumental in bringing it to the mainstream. Bill Drayton is another figure that sort of picked up on that and made it more mainstream.
Right.
And
what did Bill Drayton do?
Well, he created this Ashoka Fellowship. And he gave a grant to somebody with a social innovation.
Right.
And then he said, I give you the money so you can live on that grant for about 1 or 2 years.
Right.
So you can leave your existing job and do what you wanted to do.
So you have an idea.
You have an idea, and you had already like some impact on the local level.
Right.
And he picked these people who had these great ideas and encouraged them by giving them a grant, giving them security so they could leave their existing job and then do this full time. And his idea is not only to change a local economy or local community, it's going regional, national, and changing the whole fabric of the society.
Okay.
So really disrupting the system.
Is the Ashoka Foundation still existent?
Yes,
and
it is.
What did Muhammad Yunus do differently compared to Bill Drayton?
Well, Muhammad Yunus started off with a different idea. It was giving credit to these women in Bangladesh. So they are enabling to start a business, and this was the founding moment of the microfinance industry. You could argue that it was started as a social enterprise, but at that time this term was not really there.
It was necessary. It was a necessity that he had to fill.
Yes.
Okay.
So to see that. So he has gone on now from just giving credit. I mean, Grameen is a huge organization now. And also Muhammad Yunus has expanded on this concept of microcredit, which he calls now social business, which is social entrepreneurship, but it has a slightly different tint to it because he is partnering as Grameen, his organization, with corporates such as Adidas,
right?
The German shoe manufacturer, or Danone for yogurts. But his concept is that you bring those two together, you create an own entity, a business, and people get their capital back. So whatever they put in as an investment, they get back, but they don't get anything else back. So all the profit generated stays in the business.
So these are basic commercial businesses where people invest in and don't get the returns on it?
Yes. This is what he called. It's more like the social side there.
And it is working?
It is working. It is like he has started that only a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And they went through a different transformation. The oldest enterprise there is the Grameen Danone partnership.
Grameen what?
Danone.
Danone?
Danone, the yogurt, huge conglomerate in France.
Oh, okay.
With,
all right. Okay.
Yogurts, milk.
Okay.
And they created a small yogurt that is manufactured within this Grameen facility and sold to poor people. and working at the base of the pyramid.
Now, many of the social enterprises that we hear about, or these successful ones, most of them focus on microfinance a lot, then hands-on businesses or manufacturing. Is that a true statement, or is that something that it's a misconception on my part?
I think microfinance is definitely the most well-known
Yeah.
business that is working in this space.
Why is that?
Well, it reaches 140 million people
Because they are
who are the
needy.
borrowers.
Yeah.
Well, they created
This
a
is
service.
globally.
This is globally, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the point there is that this is in the media. People know about it. It's gone mainstream. The other social entrepreneurship is very small in scale yet. So which is one of the big challenges of a social entrepreneur is how to reach scale, how to actually become this sort of disruptive innovation that
Right.
Bill Drayton
Like
talked
Bill
about.
Drayton and like Grameen.
Yeah. So this is what social entrepreneurs are still working on.
Now, forgive me for this. Forgive me for this, but most of us thrive on looking after our own needs, looking after our own greed,
Yes.
looking after our own survival. Now, is there a hidden agenda behind all these large social enterprises or these people who pilot these events? Is this a whole thing a gimmick, you think, to fulfill personal needs? Is there any chance that social enterprise can be abused? The concept of social entrepreneurship can be abused?
Well, let me go back to the beginning of your question. This is
Okay,
just
yeah,
when,
okay,
when you
sorry.
said that like people are about greed.
Yeah.
Especially when I came to the Philippines here,
Right.
I found a lot of people who are working very hard in their business,
Right.
but they also spend a lot of time volunteering,
Right.
working in charities, working
Right.
in their parish,
Right.
and so on.
Yeah.
So people are not only about greed.
People are also about support and love.
They do. So, and with social entrepreneurship, you can do the same in one entity.
Right. You
So
can combine
have
the
to
two.
yeah, you don't have to split your life between business and earning money and your charitable work,
Right,
where you
right.
get
Right.
fulfillment on another level.
What about the chances of somebody really mean and greedy taking advantage of this business concept?
Yeah, it's with anything.
Yeah.
I think you can, but it's difficult because social entrepreneurship is a very difficult field. There is no set business model.
Right. It's almost everything.
So yeah, but it is, you have to, because you're working mainly with poor people. They're either as your customers or as your consumers, your distributors. So there's no textbook out there that explains you how to do things.
There's no rule book.
There's no rule book.
Yeah.
So you have to innovate a lot. And there's a lot
Right.
of effort that you have to put in. I
Right,
think if you
right.
want to make a quick buck, there are lots of other things that you
Avenues,
can
yeah,
do, avenues
right,
which are
yeah.
much easier
Yeah.
to exploit.
Your business. Let's not call it your business. Do we call it your business?
Yeah, it is.
It's the Asian Center. Sorry,
Asian.
the Asian Social Enterprise Incubator. That's
Correct.
ASE?
ASE,
Yeah.
yes.
Can you tell us about that? How did you find it, and how did you create it, and what does it do?
Well, after I finished my degree here,
Yeah, the New Hampshire University.
the New Hampshire University at Saidi,
Yeah.
part of my degree was a project I had to do as part of my master thesis.
Right. Right.
And I did it with Happy Noi, which is one of the most well-known and most successful
Noi, yeah.
social enterprises here in the Philippines.
With Bam Aquino.
It's Bam Aquino, Mark Ruiz,
Right.
who founded it, and working very closely with CART, MRI, the largest
Mr. Alip, yeah.
microfinance organization, correct.
Yeah.
So I got really immersed in this field, and this is one of the reasons why I moved from microfinance to social entrepreneurship as my
Right.
main stay. One of the things we discovered there is that microfinance is very good in the finance aspect,
Right.
but they wanted to do more. They
Right.
want to help their members in bringing business to them
Right.
so they can grow.
Something tangible.
Something tangible besides cash.
Yeah.
So Happy Noi is a perfect example for that.
Of success. Yeah.
Of success as they bring a improved sari store model
Yeah.
to their community. So we were thinking about why can't we find more social enterprises like Happy Noi
Or rags to riches.
or Rags to Riches or so,
Yeah.
to connect with the microfinance organizations.
Yeah.
And I was looking around at that time, and there were not a lot of social enterprises around.
Right.
So we founded this incubator
Yeah.
to give support,
Give
to
birth. Yeah. Give birth. Nurture.
nurture
Yeah.
people who have great ideas or international social enterprises who wanted to come to the Philippines.
So in the year or so, you've been existent for 2 years now? Or
Yeah, we founded it in September 2009.
So how many businesses have you nurtured, and what kind of business have you nurtured so far?
We started off with offering shared services,
Okay.
which is sort of accountancy and everything
Right.
to support existing social enterprises.
Right.
But then we didn't find enough
There
to
was
really
not enough
support.
work,
There was
yeah.
not enough work there. So we developed a model that we call the active incubation model,
Right.
which is much more
Which is
hands-on.
Okay.
So because what we found, there's a lot of social projects here with a business potential.
Right.
But this business potential is not being exploited because there is no entrepreneur.
There's nobody with the mind to make money out of it.
Well,
or
to
at
scale
least-
it up, or
Yeah.
they don't want to be business people. What
Right.
we found artists, engineers, community
Right.
workers with
Inventors.
brilliant ideas, inventors.
Yeah.
But they just say, Marcus, I'm not a business person.
Right.
And
Right.
especially, I don't want to be a business person.
Right. In the field of agriculture, I've seen some people who are
Yeah.
developing new ways to grow plants, and
Yes, yeah.
they just don't know how to take it forward.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and especially what I found more like important is to say they don't want to become a business person.
Well, I think maybe the greed bothers them, the fact that business is tied up to greed and personal gain.
Yeah, maybe, and they're more happy spending it in the field. They don't want to go to boardrooms and do presentations and to say they don't get a kick out of
Just
that.
they don't know how to make 2 + 2 = 5. You know, that's business. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you succeed at supporting some tangible businesses like that, and what were they?
Okay. Well, we started our first incubee is Invisible Sisters.
Invisible Sisters. Okay.
It was a project. It was founded by Ann Weiser. She's an artist.
Filipino.
She's an American,
Yeah.
but she's been living here for more than 2 years.
She lives in this
She
country.
lives in Manila.
And Weiser.
Ann Weiser.
Mhm.
And she founded Invisible Sisters.
Mhm.
And Invisible Sisters is a social enterprise.
Yeah.
At that stage, it was a project
Mhm.
that is looking at waste
Mhm.
and plastic waste
Yeah.
as a raw material.
Yeah.
So what Invisible Sister does, we collect
Yeah.
used plastic bags, sando bags,
Mhm.
and we clean them, we wash them, disinfect them,
Yeah.
and then we work with 5 communities here in Metro Manila
Yeah.
of about 100 women,
Mhm.
and they crochet those plastic bags into fashion items. So it's
Okay,
handbags.
just like rags or riches.
Well, Rags to Riches is a similar prospect. They're working more with textile and eco-ethical.
Right.
So we are more the
You have a little
plastic
more
people.
capital, I see. Marcus, let's take a break here and we'll come back, and I understand you have some products and samples to show.
Yes,
And
I
you
do.
also have a video to show us about the social enterprise model, right?
Correct.
So we'll take that break and come back.
Okay.
We're still with Markus Dietrich from Germany, and he's talking about the future of entrepreneurship. We'll take that break and we'll come back right with Markus Dietrich. Stay with us. Welcome back to Expat Insights. I'm your host Raju Mandhyan. We are still with Markus Dietrich, and we are talking about the future of an entrepreneurship or social entrepreneurship, and he's showing us his products that him and his company have made. So Marcus, these are made by Invisible Sisters, the one with Ann Weiser.
This is this.
That's
bit
the
here.
one, that's the
so
one,
these are
okay.
the bags. Just imagine you've got this whole pile of used plastic bags,
Shumart, Robinsons, yeah.
and what you can make out of it.
So this is the garbage from the sea, or this is the
Yes.
garbage from the garbage?
Well, it's the these sort of like used shopping bags,
Yeah,
and the women are crocheting them
yeah.
into these beautiful bags.
They
or the
don't go
vanity
through
kits.
any plant that converts them into yarn or kind of pulverizes them into another plastic, or just they take the garbage straight and
straight. So this was how it started. We've now
Right.
expanded and we've included
Yeah.
the recycling industry of the Philippines.
this is happening in the Philippines.
It is happening in the Philippines. Yes.
By people, Filipino people.
Correct.
All right.
So this is a truly Filipino
So
enterprise.
there was no other capital goods investment here. It was just from the street to a bag.
Correct. Well, you-
Washing, cleaning, dyeing, labeling, nothing.
Yeah.
No capital investments.
It's not a lot of no
Yeah.
capital investment. You have to clean it. It's a lot of manpower
Yeah.
that you need.
What
So-
I meant is machinery,
Okay.
capital
no,
machinery.
no,
Yeah.
no. It's handcraft.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of training to teach women. There used to be a cottage industry here in the
Yeah,
Philippines
yeah.
of crocheting.
Right.
And it died.
Right. It died because
So-
there was no market for it.
Yeah. But we are recreating that market now with a new product, a new raw material, which is plastic.
Oh, sad but good.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
good but sad. Okay.
yes.
So how much does this bag go for? How much does it cost? And does it make money on the whole process? Does it create enough? Does the value convert to measurable money?
Yes, it does.
It does. Okay.
So it is, as we spoke before, we've got a triple bottom line here.
Yeah.
We are aiming to be profitable.
Well, we're getting the plastic out of the streets and the rivers. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And plus we have a social impact as we are working with poor urban women
Right.
who we work with as producers of those bags.
Right. Right. Right.
So we've got
So
different...
this is called invisible sisters.
Correct.
Why are they invisible sisters? Because they're not in one place, or you don't know who they are?
No, it's... The name invisible came from unseen waste and unseen people.
Oh, okay.
Usually you don't, like a plastic bag is something that you just take and you discard.
It's disgusting, actually. Yeah.
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 And also the women we work with, they usually stay at home.
So this is a longer lifespan. It's stronger, and it can be reused multiple number of times.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, it's a fashion bag.
Yeah. So it's got a lifespan.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like this. It's
Yeah.
a vanity kit. Yeah.
Right.
And they retail for, we start like smaller things, 100 peso up to 2,000 peso.
This is sold in Manila
It is
or
sold
outside
in-
of Philippines?
It is
too?
sold in Manila, and we also have export. And we always look for like new ways, new partners. We're partnering with corporates here.
So does ASE, your company, own this business, or it just supports them, or just nurtures them?
Well, we have a joint venture with the founder, with Anweiser.
Ah,
So we
okay.
have become part owner of it. We're
Yeah.
actively managing
I
it.
wish you had pictures of Ann Weiser
Yeah.
to be seen. You don't have
Yeah.
pictures, no? Okay. How about this one? What is this?
Well, this is our second project. We've just started. As we said, we are not only working with Filipino
This is the
enterprises.
video we show.
Exactly,
So,
yeah. It's a social enterprise that started off in Africa,
Yeah.
and they are working on solar energy,
Right.
bringing light
Like
and
we saw in the
energy.
video a while ago. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there's a Kenyan next one. And we are bringing this as ASE now to the Philippines.
So it'll be assembled in the Philippines, or it'll be totally managed. This requires capital machinery.
It is, yes. So that is made in China.
Right.
We bring it here,
Yeah.
and we're working on the business models. We're working on the marketing,
Yeah.
we're translating all the
Right.
merchandising material,
Right.
and we bring it here.
So how is this much more better than the regular battery, or how does this help the planet? Doesn't this become much more damaging in any way?
No, it doesn't,
Yeah.
because this one has a lifespan of at least 5 years.
Okay, okay.
Plus, what you can do, like normally you have a radio, especially in the province,
Yeah.
and what you have is like standard batteries,
Like those.
like
yeah,
disposable, and you just throw them away.
yeah. Right,
And
right,
we've replaced them with adapters.
right.
So now instead of using a battery, we use those adapters, we connect it to the solar panel,
Right.
and then you can run your radio
Yeah.
just on solar power for free.
So how much is this? And so it was manufactured in China, designed in the Philippines.
Designed in Africa,
Right, designed in Africa.
so we bring it here to the Philippines.
So it'll be assembled and marketed in the Philippines.
Correct.
So we don't have to reach electricity to them to recharge their batteries or to run their TVs.
That's
we
correct.
provide them with this.
Yeah,
Okay.
because like electricity is a big problem here in the Philippines.
Right.
There's still a lot of barangays who are not electrified. And it's just dark. So by bringing solar power there,
Yeah.
like charging your cell phone, you can charge
Yeah.
your cell phone with it.
Right. How long does that
So that
take?
works.
And
It takes about like 5 hours. Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah, but if you don't have grid, that is the best
It's better
alternative.
than not having electricity. Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
is this?
This one's light. If you don't have electricity, you usually have kerosene lights
In
which
the
is
villages.
in
Yeah.
villages, so which is expensive.
Yeah.
It's dangerous,
Yeah.
and it harms the environment. You can replace it with this lamp. So you charge it also
Yeah.
during the day, and then you power it up, and you can sort of hang it.
So these are these Invisible Sisters is one business that your company is nurturing.
Correct.
This is another company, or is it the
Correct.
same? Is Invisible
Yes.
Sisters also?
No, this one is tough stuff.
Tough Stuff.
Yeah, and the way
that's,
that's
that's a Chinese company or a Filipino company?
that is a English-Dutch social enterprise
Right,
that started off in Africa,
Okay, all right.
and
right,
we are their distributor for the
okay,
Philippines.
okay, right, right. And that one over there?
This one, that's all tough stuff.
Oh, this is all Tough
So
Stuff. Oh, that's the logo of Tough Stuff,
Yeah.
the red thingy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a great thing about this. It is not only solar light, but it's a modular system
Yeah.
where you have electricity and you can have light,
Yeah.
you can have entertainment, plus you can charge your cell phone.
Right. So what other businesses are you doing here in Manila, in Philippines?
Well, these are sort of our two incubators that we have at the moment.
Right.
So we're looking for more projects that we can put into the incubator.
Yeah. I also understand that you're also helping educational institutions, or you're at least ready to do that. Can you give us a picture of that? Can you create a picture of that?
Yeah, well, I've started working as a faculty
For
social entrepreneurship programs, for seminars. So I went to Germany.
Yeah.
I taught there an MBA class.
Yeah.
But also at Ateneo, which was one of the foremost breeding grounds of social entrepreneurs here in the Philippines.
Yeah, like the rags to riches story. Yeah.
Exactly. And there are more and more projects like that. The thing is, you have to encourage them to stay with their project after they leave school.
Oh,
So that is the major problem. And I'm working very closely with Ateneo. Now, how can we enable this?
To make it grow and
To
make
make
it
them grow
live
and-
and let it sustain and scale up. Yeah.
Get the students to understand that there is a future
It's not just a project.
in this. It's not only a project.
It's a life. Right. So what is your mission in ASEI? You call it ASEI.
ASEI,
And where do you plan to take it in the coming years? And what do you plan to change in the Philippines?
Well, we've so still working on our model.
Yeah.
So the idea is to spin off Invisible Sisters this year. So we're looking for investors. So anybody who's interested in being part of Invisible Sisters of this story is invited to come and see us, because then it would prove the model that we can take a project from this project stage to a really social enterprise stage where it can be incorporated and run as a business.
And so currently how many people are working for Invisible Sisters?
Well, we've got about 100 women.
Yeah.
That
These are
we
all
work
across the
with.
Philippines. Yeah.
They're in Metro Manila in 6 communities. We've got a staff of 3 people who are organizing everything, and they're employed by ASEI.
Good. So this is good. So is that the reason why we see so many young people in social entrepreneurship? Because the schools and people like you are supporting them? Is that the reason there are more younger people in this?
I think so. It's very appealing to young people.
Yeah.
Especially in the Philippines, I found that people would love to be in this space. But at the moment, they don't have enough opportunity.
How do you see this going forward? What kind of change do you see happening in the business environment because of you being the driver behind social enterprise and other young people being part of it? How do you see it changing the face of Earth over time?
I think more and more people are picking up on this idea.
Right.
Gawad Kalinga has just started the Center for Social Innovation.
Right.
They want to nurture social entrepreneurs. And
is that similar to what you're doing?
They're more on the platform. They want to provide a platform. They're inviting social entrepreneurs to come to them and work in their enchanted farms and in other villages that they have.
Right.
This helps enormously because Gawad Kalinga has a huge network out there to spread the message and involve corporates and make them aware of the opportunities.
They have the clout and the power
to
do it.
Yeah. Also, Ateneo is a breeding ground. La Salle is starting doing it. So it's really spreading the message into the corporate world as much as within the universities.
Right. So that's the future.
That is definitely the future.
What part do you see yourself playing into it?
Well, being part of that ecosystem. At the moment, we are creating history. It is a new movement. It is still at a very early stage. So everybody who joins becomes part of that history of making social entrepreneurship grow. And this is what I wanted to do. This is probably the biggest change from my previous job to this one. Here I'm at the cutting edge. You're developing business models.
You're ahead of the world.
You're ahead
of the curve. Yeah.
So academia is working closely with you, and so on and so forth. So this is exciting, and this is sort of became part of that exciting chaos that I described earlier when I came here.
So do you plan to make Philippines your home and continue doing this for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I think so. Philippines is a great base for me. We want to expand ASEI into other Southeast Asian countries.
Yeah.
So once we prove that,
what would you need to expand into other countries?
That would be investment.
Or partners,
partners,
intellectual investment or financial?
It will be financial investment.
Yeah.
So we are looking for partners now who believe in this model and want to take it further, not only in the Philippines, but once we've proven this model of active incubation that it can work and it can actually fulfill a need, fill a gap that everybody sees.
Countries like India, countries like Bangladesh.
For example, but also Southeast Asian. Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Indonesia.
Countries that are in trouble financially,
So that would be my my dream.
That's your dream?
of RSA to become first Southeast Asian and then spreading further.
Great, Markus. That's a good story. So is there anything else that you wanted to tell us about your business and product? It's been great talking to you. We're coming to a close of this interview.
Yeah.
So is there something that you need to present to us about RSA and the incubation it's doing?
I think a couple of things. Invisible Sisters is growing.
Yeah.
We've got an upcoming show in Art in the Park, Salcedo
Is that every...
Village.
Yeah?
This is like on the 19th of February, where
Yeah.
you can buy those products.
Yeah.
We also look for corporate partners
Yeah.
who would like to work with us
Yeah.
in terms of reducing their waste,
You'd like to
becoming
invite...
part of the stories,
Yeah.
and becoming part of the story. This is what we sell to corporates and also to consumers.
Great. So in your mind's eye, we are about to close.
Yeah.
What do you see life in the Philippines becoming, the businesses and society? Can you create a picture for that before we close? Maybe that's your closing statement.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think from like a business perspective, we can see
Yeah.
that there's a lot of awareness being built, and this is like it's going mainstream. It's going
Right.
big.
Right.
So this is also the corporate sector moving their CSR initiatives into their corporate
Blending
behavior,
together, coming
blending,
together.
creating blended value. That this is sort of the future for business. I think that
Alright.
is sort of very important.
Yeah.
On a personal level, I'm starting a family here.
Oh,
So,
good. Congrats. Congrats. Are you marrying a Filipina?
It's a Korean.
Why would you do that in the
okay.
Philippines? And why would you marry a Korean in the Philippines?
Well,
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Can you talk about love? I mean, love falls where it falls.
All right. So it's been a pleasure having you here, Markus.
Excellent.
If there's any statement, if you want to invite your friends or announce your website,
Right.
the camera's yours. It's nice talking to you.
Okay. Well, our website is www.rsa.com.ph.
Yeah.
We look forward to partner with more social enterprises. We would like to partner with corporates. And for tough stuff, we're looking for distributors who are active in the rural area and want to bring a very innovative program and product to their community and bring electricity, entertainment, light, and cell phone charging to those communities they work in.
So God bless you on your way, and congratulations for your incoming marriage, incoming marriage or upcoming marriage, and do invite us.
All right.
Yeah, and we'll make an announcement of your marriage here on Expat Insights. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having
So
me.
that was Markus Dietrich talking about social entrepreneurship or the future of entrepreneurship. I'm your host Raju Mandhyan. Thank you for watching Expat Insights, and until next Sunday, mabuhay, salamat, and God bless.